Today we are back in Haines City checking out a brand new home priced in the mid threes where our builder is currently offering you $20,000 just to build your home. So if that sounds interesting to you, make sure you guys stay tuned because you're not going to want to miss this one. And before we jump into the rest of the home tour, I want to make sure you guys understand where we are currently located. And today we are in Haines City. Haines City has been booming with new construction, offering more affordable options than nearby cities without sacrificing access to shopping, dining, and outdoor fun like Lake Ava Park, which we are currently looking at. And this growing city is perfectly positioned between Tampa and Orlando, with Orlando being just over 50 minutes away, giving you access to world-class attractions like Walt Disney World being 30 minutes away, as well as other theme parks and professional sporting teams as well. With Tampa offering very similar amenities, being just over an hour away, you have access to professional sporting teams, theme parks, our West Coast beaches, and so much more, making Haines City a great place to reside, ensuring that you're close to it all while still being able to maintain your peace and quiet. Now, if you're new to me or my channel, my name is Dylan Concepcion, a real estate advisor in the Central Florida area, and I help people buy, sell, and relocate to Central Florida. So if you're thinking about making a move, reach out to us because we'd love to help you make that decision. All my information is going to be on the screen as well as in the description. And now, before I jump into this home, I want to talk a little bit about what our community has to offer. And our community has homes ranging in sizes from 1,480 square feet going all the way above 2,500 square feet, with base pricing starting in the high twos going all the way up to the high threes. And the home we're going to be checking out today has 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms with a 2-car garage sitting on just over 2,300 square feet of living space. And before we jump into this home tour, I want to make sure you guys are aware that at the end of the video, we go over a numbers breakdown with Coach Contra, detailing things like our loan options, down payments, as well as incentives and what you can expect a monthly payment to look like moving into this home. So if you're interested in the educational side of this home tour, make sure you guys stick around for the numbers breakdown with Coach Contra at the end of the video. With that being said, let's kick this home tour off and I'll meet you guys at the front of the home. Welcome in, everybody. And now, before we step into the home, let's talk about what's outside first. The elevation you guys are currently seeing is going to be a modern elevation, giving us things like that stacked brick as well as the glass door. And the pavers you guys are seeing is going to be a standard feature. Every home with these builders are going to come with these pavers, as well as on the back lanai. And now, finally stepping into the home, let's get you guys out of that Florida heat and into some cool AC. We step into our foyer, where you guys are going to see we have upgraded tile flooring in this home, as well as 9-foot ceilings, making this space feel so grand. And now there's 2 things on each side of me. One, we're going to have our staircase taking us to our 2nd story, but first we're going to focus on downstairs. And to the left of me is going to be our first destination, being a small flex space in this area. You guys are going to have an open living space right here, with easily one of my favorite features being how much natural light we get from all of our windows throughout this home. So there's no shortage of natural light coming in. We have so many windows downstairs, and you guys can see we have the tall windows right there. Now these are going to be picture windows, and they open differently from the traditional up and down, right? And we'll get more into it as we progress through the home. I'll talk about it once we get upstairs, but I want you guys to know that these come with the modern elevation. So if you guys elect for that upgrade to have the modern elevation you saw earlier, you would get these pictures windows upstairs as well as right here downstairs. Now, just on the opposite side of our flex is going to be a transitional space that takes us directly to our kitchen. And now, stepping back into our foyer, we're going to continue walking down, where to the left of me, we're going to find our first half bathroom. So let's get a quick look. Now, just on the opposite side of our half bath is going to be our 2-car garage behind this door. And just right here is going to be some understair storage, where you guys can see you have a decent amount of space under the stairs. I usually refer to this as a Harry Potter room, but it's also really good for seasonal decorations. So whether it's your Christmas tree, Halloween stuff, or Thanksgiving things, you guys know that you have some space for that. Now, I would love to show you guys a 2-car garage. However, our sales representatives are using it as their sales office. So it's just your standard 2-car, nothing crazy. Now, as we step back into this way, we're gonna get to the main open concept of the home, where you're going to have your kitchen and your living room just adjacent from it, providing some amazing direct sight lines, making this a great space to entertain. So starting off in our kitchen, we have a large island with a breakfast bar. And on our island, we're going to have quartz countertops, as well as a single deep sink. And the fixtures you guys are currently seeing are decorational only. However, you would have a few options of fixtures when you guys are going to pick out your upgrades. Now, the next feature I'll talk about is going to be our refrigerator. If you're choosing to build from the ground up a to-be built, you will not receive your washer, dryer, or refrigerator. Those 3 appliances do not come included. However, if you're choosing a quick move-in, a home that has already started construction and is finishing relatively soon, you will receive the washer, dryer, as well as your refrigerator. Those 3 appliances will come included with our quick move-in homes. And then the other appliances we get, which are standard, is going to be our dishwasher, which is right here under our island, as well as our oven stove combo, and then our microwave just right here. And like I said, those 3 appliances are typically always standard, no matter where you go. What's not standard usually is actually going to be right behind these 2 cabinets. We have a range and hood, or well, we just have the range, no hood. This is going to be a standard feature, so anytime you're cooking, cleaning, whatever it may be, all those scents, fumes, anything is going to be pushed directly outside the home. And you'll get a quick glimpse right here. We have the soft close. Now let's segue over to our cabinets. These cabinets are going to be an upgraded color. We have the 36-inch uppers with no crown molding and this light brown mocha color, which is going to be a level 3 upgrade. And now there are 4 levels of upgrades to choose from. As I mentioned, our light brown mocha cabinets, that's going to be a level 3. And then our quartz countertops, I believe they're level 2. I'm not 100% sure, but I do know that level 1 is granite countertops. So if you're more into granite countertops anyways, then perfect. That's actually going to be the standard feature. Now just behind me is that transitional space that I mentioned that takes us to our flex space. And before I step into it and showcase to you guys our pantry, which is right behind this door, I want to talk about this small little space right here of cabinets. We have a nice little coffee bar right here. I love that the builders actually staged it that way to showcase to you guys how well it works for a coffee bar. And stepping into our transitional space right now, we got that flex behind me. Last stop of our kitchen is going to be our pantry, so let's go. And another great feature I love about our kitchen is that just adjacent from it is going to be our living space. And again, there's no shortage of windows. We're gonna have those 3 rear-facing windows, bringing in a ton of natural light to our living space. And we have beautiful direct sight lines from our kitchen leading directly over to our living space, creating a great environment to entertain. And then you pair it along with those 9-foot ceilings and you have truly a grand space. Now, in between our living room and kitchen is going to be a small dining space. As you guys can see, it fits a decent size rectangular table, and they're gonna have those sliding doors that lead directly to our covered lanai. And now the covered lanai is going to be an upgrade. What you guys would normally get is an uncovered lanai with the same pavers you were seeing. The covered lanai is going to be a structural upgrade. You guys just finished taking a look at our covered lanai. Remember, the standard version would be uncovered. Just behind me is going to be our stairs, and the last thing I want to show you guys before we go up is going to be our coat closet. And as you guys can see, there's only 1 rack, so this would be our coat closet. Not that coats are utilized that much in Florida. You guys would be able to use this as you would like. All right, welcome upstairs, everybody. Now, the first thing I'll point out is that we have cozy carpets upstairs, and it's going to be our only option. Our builder does not provide any other types of flooring for our upstairs area. Carpet is going to be our standard, so no LVP and no tiles. Another upgrade that we can do upstairs is actually going to be this half wall right here. Downstairs, you guys saw that we have a nice upgraded banister. And if you guys would so choose to do that banister, it would actually continue all the way up here. The model only did it downstairs. So just know that if you wanted to go with the banister, it would continue all the way up here and you guys would not have a half wall. Now just behind me, master, and then we have a bathroom just right here. We're actually going to ignore that. We'll come back to it. Just behind you guys, as soon as we step upstairs, you're going to be greeted by a loft, and we're going to have a great amount of natural light coming in from those 2 side-facing windows. And I love when 2 stories have the upstairs loft because it's a perfect place for our kids to congregate. Whether they have friends over, they're doing homework, gaming, watching TV, it gives them their own little space for peace and quiet away from the adults. Now just behind me, we're going to have our laundry room and then our first bedroom. So we're gonna check out this laundry room first. You guys are going to see that we have the washer and dryer along with a window, and I love when we get a little bit of natural light inside of our laundry room. And remember, the washer and dryer are included in quick move-in homes, but not to be built. And just next door, like you guys already saw, is going to be our first bedroom. So let's check it out. In bedroom number 1, we are going to have those 2 front-facing windows bringing in a ton of natural light along with the cozy carpets that we see in the rest of our upstairs. And we're gonna have these double French doors leading directly to our closet. Now I mentioned earlier in the tour in the downstairs flex area that we had these picture windows, and bedroom number 1 gets them as well. And remember, you get them when you pick your modern elevation as one of your structural upgrades. And for anybody who hasn't seen picture windows or doesn't know how they work, I'll showcase real quickly to you guys. We have a latch right here. You flip it up to unlock and you grab this crank right here and you start cranking. Now, I'm not the biggest fan there. Definitely require a little bit more physical labor than the traditional up-down windows. But as you guys can see, it opens like a door versus, like I said, the traditional up-down. And again, I'm not the biggest fan. Obviously, if you have small children, I'm sure this is the biggest nightmare, as you do not want any of your kids to fall out the window. So I do have to close this before we move on, but I'll meet you guys back in the loft to check out our final 2 bedrooms and bathroom. Let's go. All right, I finally got that window closed. You guys just took a look at our first bedroom. We're gonna continue to walk past our loft once again and take a look at our second bedroom just right behind me. So let's go. And in bedroom number 2, we have our second largest bedroom, giving us 2 rear-facing windows, bringing in a ton of natural light. We're gonna have the cozy carpets as mentioned before, as they carry throughout the entire upstairs. And in case you guys were curious, the fans that we've seen throughout the home are purely decorational for our model. However, you would have the anchoring and pre-wiring. So if you guys wanted to hang one up, you guys could day one, no problem. And not only do we have a bigger bedroom, but those 2 French doors take us to a larger closet than we saw in bedroom number 1, giving us a little bit more space to step into. Now exiting our second bedroom, just on the outside of it, we're going to have this door here, and I'd like to show you guys what's behind all doors so your mind isn't left to wander. And just behind this door, it's just going to be our AC, so nothing too crazy, it's just going to be our AC closet. Now we continue walking down, we're going to have our first bathroom that we see upstairs. So let's take a look. In bathroom number 1, we're going to have that single vanity sink with the extended countertop and cabinet space underneath. And I love that this bathroom has separation between our vanity sink and then our shower tub combo. And we're gonna have those ceramic tiles going all the way up to the ceiling, and then our throne just next to it, making sure that if someone's using the bathroom or showering, that there is no interference between who's using our vanity sink and who's using our shower, offering more privacy for the family. Exiting our second bedroom brings us to the final stop of the tour, which is going to be our master just right behind me. And I love the location of the master being right at the front of the stairs. So without further ado, let's take a look. And we have a huge master bedroom, giving us 2 rear-facing windows, bringing in a ton of natural light to our master. And you guys again are going to see some hanging pieces as well as some trim on our ceiling. That is all model decoration. This is not something you guys would be able to pick as upgrades. But keep in mind that you will have the hard wiring and anchoring to either hang a fan or a fixture similar to this one. And in our master suite, of course, we have our master bathroom, giving us a his and hers double vanity sink, along with an all glass step-in shower enclosure. And we're gonna have the same ceramic tiles that we saw in our first bathroom going all the way up to the ceiling as well. And I absolutely love when a master bathroom has windows, bringing in natural light to our master bathroom. And just next to our bathroom's window is going to be our linen closet. And we're also going to have our walk-in closet inside of our master bathroom. And we have a huge walk-in, also housing our cozy carpets. And it also comes with a front-facing window, bringing in a bunch of natural light to our closet. And again, it's not frosted, so similar to our bathroom window, if you guys value privacy, I recommend that's something we take care of when you move in. Now that is going to conclude our tour for the day. So thanks for stopping by, you guys. I truly do appreciate it. All that's left for you guys to do is stick around for Coach C and his numbers breakdown at the end of the video, and I'll catch you on the kitchen for the outro. Peace. Welcome back, everybody, and thanks for stopping by my class. My name is Coach Concha, and we're gonna jump straight into it today, starting off with our home value. And this home has a base price starting right at $359,990. And again, that is a base price, so you guys will have the opportunity to pick out your interior finishes, structural upgrades, bumping up that price. Now, let's talk about what a monthly payment looks like at this purchase price. So obviously, like I said, you guys would have the opportunity to pick out interior finishes as well as structural upgrades. So I'm going to add $20,000 to our value to kind of mimic what you guys would do, giving us a price, and I rounded up to the nearest dollar, of $380,000 for our home. And we're gonna go with an FHA for our loan, giving us a down payment of 3.5%, giving us $13,300 for our down payment. And you're gonna need a credit score of 580 to qualify for the FHA. And now interest rates are floating around in the sixes. So I gave us a 6.5% for our interest rate, giving us a monthly payment of $2,323 a month. And that's with no PMI, taxes, HOAs, CDDs. You guys would add that on afterwards. Speaking of which, HOA and CDD in this community. We have an HOA of $48 a month, which includes your internet through the HOA, which is nice. So that's a bill you guys would not have to worry about. And now we do have a CDD of $194 a month. And that's going to guarantee that your amenities and so forth are going to be built. Now moving forward, let's talk about some fun things, our incentives. And our community currently has some really good ones right now. And we have two types. Obviously, there's two types of homes you guys can choose from, either a quick move-in or a to-be built. So starting off with our quick move-in homes. All quick move-in homes are going to receive all the appliances, as Dylan mentioned in the video, as well as 6% of the purchase price going towards your closing costs. And now for our to-be built, and again, a quick move-in is a home that is already in the process of being built versus a to-be built where you're building from the ground up. Now, if you elect to build from the ground up so you guys can pick your design options and so forth, you guys will receive $20,000 in flex funds, meaning that you get to plug and play where you like them. So whether you'd like to add them to your upgrades or your closing costs, or you can even get a rate buy down, the flex funds are there for you to play with. Now moving forward, I just want to make sure you guys know we're going to jump into our tax estimate. Now, I am not a lender, so the numbers I bring to you are for educational purposes only, to kind of give you guys an idea of where to start. So don't go attacking nobody saying, oh, but Coach She, look, all these numbers are subject to change. So if you want the most up-to-date and accurate information, reach out to me or Dylan and we got you. And now for our property tax estimate, we are going to have an annual tax bill of $7,434 annually. And now moving forward, we're going to jump back into some loan options. Now I already went over an FHA for our example earlier, so now we're going to jump into another popular loan being our conventional. And the most common down payments we see are 3%, 5%, and 10%. At a down payment of 3%, we are looking at $11,500 for our down payment. At 5%, our down payment is going to be $19,000. And at $10,000, our down payment is going to be $38,000. And you're gonna need a credit score of 620 to qualify for our conventional loan. And now what is the big difference between an FHA and a conventional loan? The main difference is going to be your PMI, our primary mortgage insurance, which can be several $100s on top of your monthly mortgage. And now with a conventional, it actually drops off once you own 20% equity in the home. And versus with an FHA, that's actually going to be there the entire duration of the loan, so the entire 15 to 30 years. But it's okay if you need to go for an FHA loan for credit purposes or down payment purposes. You are allowed to refinance out of your FHA into a conventional once you hit that 20% equity mark and have that PMI completely removed. Now moving forward, we're going to jump into some 100% financing loans, but first I want to talk about our Hometown Heroes. Our Hometown Heroes loan has returned. You're going to need a credit score of 640 to qualify, and it's a down payment assistance program giving you up to $10,000 for your down payment. And it's going to be for first responders only, so police officers, firemen, teachers, nurses, doctors, anything that is a first responder. And if you want to learn if your field is potentially covered, go ahead and reach out to me or Dylan and we can talk about it. So now moving forward, let's jump back into our 100% financing loans, starting off with our USDA with a credit score of 640 to qualify, just like our Hometown Heroes, is a 100% financing loan, but it has income requirements as well as guidelines that our buyer and home has to pass in order for this loan to work for you. So keep that in mind as you guys are adhering and utilizing this information. Moving forward, we're going to jump into our final loan of the day. It's going to be our VA. So shout out to all my veterans out there. We truly do appreciate everything you guys do. And the VA appreciates it so much that they hook it up with a 100% financing loan that is a big whopping $0 down for your down payment. All my veterans are required to bring into the closing table is their closing cost. Speaking of which, our closing cost is our final segment. And if you guys would remember, our closing costs for quick move-in homes are going to be 6%. So that's enough to cover your closing costs and your prepaid. So you guys could walk into this home scot-free, barely any money down. Now that goes for our USDA as well. Keep this in mind. Or if you use a Hometown Heroes, you guys could get into this home with very, very little money down. And I usually calculate closing costs at a rule of thumb of 4%. Now, on average, 3% is a good rule of thumb. 3% of the purchase price is a good rule of thumb. It just depends on other factors and builders as well. So I calculate it at 4% to kind of give you guys a little bit of that extra buffer space. Now, at a rule of thumb of 4%, our closing costs are going to be $15,200 for the closing costs. And if you guys add in that 6% incentive from our builders on quick move-in homes, you guys wouldn't have to pay a single dime out of your pocket for your closing costs and prepaids. So that is huge. And that is going to be my final segment of the day. So thanks for stopping by, you guys, and back to you, Dylan. Thank you, Coach C. We appreciate you as always. And as you guys can see, we are back in the kitchen. And as a final recap today, we were in Haines City, Florida, checking out our builder's Highbourne model. It has 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and sits right above 2,300 square feet. And this is usually the point in the video where I take a quick second to say thank you to anybody who's still watching. I truly do appreciate you. Or if you've been showing love and supporting my channel thus far, again, I truly do appreciate all the love and support. And if you haven't heard me say it yet, my name is Dylan Concepcion, a real estate advisor in the Central Florida area, and I go all over Central Florida touring new construction communities and homes so you guys don't have to. So if you found any value in today's video or my previous content, you should consider hitting that like button and subscribing. 1, because it is free and it helps my channel go a long way, and who doesn't love free things? But 2, it keeps you guys in the loop so you aren't missing any opportunities similar to this one. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.